Well, folks, it's time to say farewell to Captain America and all these characters we know and love. You remember the ones: Gale, Matson, Mayor What's-His-Name, Commissioner Who's-It. I think there were a couple of Lymans. There was a professor named after a car. I feel like Edward Van Sloan showed up really briefly. And, of course, the true hero of the series, Walt Davis. I hope you enjoyed this serial. Robert Fraser would have enjoyed this interview a lot more if he had gotten his cup of coffee! After all this, these guys still want to take credit for this, huh? Last chapter, The Toll of Doom, with a massive paycheck for Robert Downey Jr. Okay, now they're bending over backwards to avoid using Cap's picture. Why did it take them this long? "10, 20, 30, 40 henchmen or more. The bloody red Scarab was rolling up the score. I swear King Kong's around here somewhere." They're gonna feel real silly working so hard to destroy this furniture themselves after the bomb goes off. Again, you said he bombs the house in the recap text. You could have skipped to the bombing. Man, that chandelier is really rocking. The bomb got it so shaken. Oh, now it's perfectly still. I'm kind of gonna miss this repetitive choreography. You know, the same way I kind of miss hobbling around on a walker after my car accident. And Cap bumps Hillman's head against the wall and exacerbates his brain injury. He's so giddy watching them escape. Sorry, you can toss those bags to the side. I kind of live out of my car. Well, they certainly got their money's worth out of this sign.
G.F. Hillman, wealthy railroad president, was rescued today by Captain America from the Scarab's agent.
That's a really long crossword clue.
Farmhouse where he was being held prisoner. Suffering from a brain injury, he was rushed to a hospital, the name of which the district attorney refuses to divulge.
Because he doesn't know how to pronounce it.
Kept a secret to protect Hillman.
If Hillman does regain consciousness, you'll tell him that you are the Scarab.
Almost like revealing your identity to him was pointless when you could have just sent an agent to get what you want.
Only the DA and Captain America know where he is.
It is obvious the district attorney and Captain America are the same man.
Yeah, boss, I figured that out 10 chapters ago. Give me some credit.
He said that the district attorney was on his way to the Watson farm. Yet Captain America was the one who reached there.
Oh, you mean that thing that your guys expected to happen in episode 1 of this stupid serial? Now you can put 2 and 2 together.
Bad shape. I wired for a famous brain surgeon.
But he ran away babbling about his luggage.
When his office caught him. He's driving back and should be here by 5 o'clock.
Somewhere.
Here's their reply.
Wow, they spent a lot of effort just to write "suck it."
Coming here to the office.
Yes. I couldn't take a chance and let anyone know which hospital Hillman is in.
So this town has more hospitals than women.
In the meantime, you go to the hospital, stay right beside Hillman. In the event that he regains consciousness, try and get a statement, even for a moment. Understand?
Right.
Can't believe I had to borrow Nicky Gnome's car. I knew I should have turned left at Albuquerque.
Keep quiet and drive where I tell you.
Man, the lengths some guys go to not tip their Lyft driver.
The Drummond Museum.
Oh, now they skip the establishing shot? This is it? Huh, the Arts and Science Museum across town is way cooler.
Good to see you, Miss Ricketts. Be seated.
Dr. Melder, why was I brought here?
Hold on, I'll tell you after the dolly stops moving.
Perhaps this will explain.
Yes, I'm hiring you as an exterminator.
Explained a lot. You're the Scarab.
Yes. It's your misfortune that I had to let you know.
I mean, you didn't have to. You could have used that finger prick serum from episode 2 on her again.
Tell me,
Did you sail across the sun?
where are they keeping Hillman?
Oh, it's in the Mayo aisle, but it's best foods on this coast.
Fortunately, only the district attorney knows.
I had thought you would say that. But I have a means of making you tell me the truth.
So after all this, the good guys only find out Maldor's the Scarab because he straight up tells them. The heroes have no actual useful skills that help them solve any problems. Of course, he only tells them he's the Scarab in order to get to the guy that he's trying to stop from telling them he's the Scarab, so his skills aren't that great either.
Which is a very efficient truth serum. Under its influence, you would tell me anything I want to know.
Mostly what makes a ball bounce.
Unfortunately for you, The effects never wear off.
Well, that sounds inconvenient. Again, why didn't you just use the finger prick serum?
In an insane asylum. A hopeless...
But enough about Grant.
And now...
So he has all these truth serums. I guess whipping Hillman for the information was just more fun.
Wait,
Till I come back to your side.
I'll talk.
Go ahead, Miss Richards. And I warn you to tell the truth.
I could jab you anyway to make sure you're telling the truth, but I actually only have one dose left, and I also need to find out if Gruber's been stealing my gelato from the fridge.
You will arrive at the office at 5 o'clock. From there, he's to be taken to the hospital.
What is the surgeon's name?
Dr. Wade, we're interrupting his vacation.
Dr. Rodman Barracks.
Spell it.
REDRUMNILBOG.
LAM.
Contact Agent 33.
Ah, our last new expendable agent.
His name. And to go to the district attorney's office.
So the Scarab has doughy character actors on his payroll.
Mr. Gardner, I'm Dr. Rodman Barracks. How do you do, Doctor? Would you have a chair?
Given the size of his crew, the real doctor might as well have been one of the Scarab's men already.
I know. I received your wire about Hillman, and instead of driving all the way, I managed to charter a plane.
Yeah, you and everyone else in this serial.
In a case like this, time is important. Has Hillman regained consciousness? Sorry, no.
Oh, don't try showing emotion now.
I'll have to make an examination at once. Which hospital is he?
A hospital on Guerrero Street.
On Woodlawn Avenue. My associate's waiting for my call. May I use your phone? Certainly. I'll dial it for you.
In memory of Dr. Lyman, I want to spend as much time touching my own phone as possible.
643.
I am judging his dialing technique. I have a premonition the phone's about to ring.
Hello? Get my surgical kit and meet me at the Crestview Hospital on Woodlawn Avenue.
Remember, this is the Scarab's agent. He's just acting like a surgeon, cutting for the very first time.
One will meet you in the lobby of the hospital in case of trouble. The other will wait in the getaway car. I'll be here when you get back.
Very well.
If we
I'll
must.
start at once.
I'm sorry I can't go with you, Doctor, but I have some work to do.
These numbers aren't going to paint by themselves.
Of course, Mr. Gardner.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's me, Davis, just Davising it up.
What's up? That man's an imposter.
That man is pasta?
Only Gail and I knew I'm expecting a brain surgeon, and the man I wired for is Dr. George Thomas.
Which George Thomas? There's 35 on Wikipedia.
There's a chance to find her. I gave him the name of the wrong hospital.
The hospital I sent him to is in some kid's snow globe.
Ask him to send a raiding party to the Crestview Hospital and pick up Dr. Rodman Barracks and whoever's with him. Meanwhile, I'm going to trace that phone call he made.
Probably should have done that before talking to you. Gail's in trouble. Time could be of the essence here.
This is the district attorney. I want the address of Oak 2643.
So this one was arbitrarily a Grant job and not a Cap job, for reasons. When has shooting through the door ever worked in this serial? Why even try? Did that door even have hinges? It's weird seeing Grant and Mattson fighting without another henchman for either of them to kill. Sorry guys, this room doesn't have enough chairs. Huh, you think I can't withstand some handcuffs? What do you think the Scarab makes me do every Saturday night? Gay porn was really chaste in the old days.
Where's Miss Richards?
How would I know? You know all right. And about that phony surgeon Rodman Barracks, too. Phony? Well, the girl told us that...
He stole Superman's hair.
The wrong name. She made this one up to warn me.
Processing. New thought loading.
And at the same time to tell me that Malder is the Scarab.
Malder? You're crazy.
Hey, how could she do that?
I'm so impressed I immediately drop his cover.
Is Malder Scarab spelled backwards?
And Maldor couldn't figure that one out. He's actually even stupider than Grant for once.
L-D-O-R. Malder is the Scarab.
Okay, now explain it 6 more ways so we're sure to get it.
Kill her. She'll have a horrible death. Well, you know what? Shut up.
And dance with me.
You won't find it out in time.
And that sound means it's time for our lightning round.
The whole thing was a trap.
Also, are you insane? Get out while you can. The curse is real.
I just wanted to escape.
Hold the car there for a fast getaway. We'll be out as soon as we dispose of the girl.
So he found out in time. Even in the end, Grant is wrong about everything. It all comes full circle. Chapter 1 and Chapter 15 have the same tied-up damsel in distress bullcrap.
No one can do that and live. This looks 1,000 years old.
And the mummy looks old, too.
A week ago, he was a living, breathing man.
But he didn't get Brendan Fraser his coffee. Can you tell I recently rewrote the Florida Mummy?
He was placed in this case. In a short time, he became the withered mummy that you see before you.
And then he killed Dr. Jordan.
Just like that in a few minutes.
I mean, you could just shoot her, but sure, slow, elaborate death traps have never backfired on you before. It's an emergency, but he still parks with a polite space cushion. Later, Willem Dafoe's gonna investigate the scene of this firefight. Ah, crap, I regret that. Now I'll never get the rain check on that shine. When I get shot, I stand up to stretch out as I die.
I'll get our valuables together while you connect the mummified.
Then get the great Sidini to saw her in
I'm
half.
afraid the district attorney will hardly recognize Miss Richards when he finds her a withered mummy.
But he'll still recognize her a bit. She'll still have that ineffable Miss Richards quality. Not really a big crescendo moment, but sure. Man, filling balloon animals is tedious. What's in that bag, like sex toys and stuff? Look, I'm running out of steam on Lionel Atwill orgy jokes. Oh, hey, thanks for getting the door for me.
Mr. Scarab, you arrived sooner than I expected, Mr. District Attorney.
Wait, let's get on the same page. Real names or made-up names?
Well, you'll never find her unless you're willing to exchange her life for my freedom.
The Scarab will have the pleasure of turning on the gas himself.
And what a pleasure it is for him. To be honest, doing just about anything gets him off at this point.
In a few minutes, it will be too late to save Miss Richards. Then she's in the building.
Only Richard's in the building.
Yes.
Now bags defeat guns, sure. Ah, we got lockdown wide angles to better disguise Lionel's stunt double. It's not good framing, but at least it makes the fight look slightly different than the 14 identical fights before. And we're back to normal. And back to security cams. Look, I'll take what passes for variety at this point. Ha! Suck it, Mattson. You just get handcuffed, but I get to die on screen in the finale. Sure, you already died once, but... How are we supposed to know that Gale is in mortal peril without a gauge slowly rising to indicate the chamber filling with deadly gas? Oh, wait, everyone, I have another fun fact about garlic. Did you know that the city of Chicago was actually named after an indigenous word for garlic? And yet Chicago-style pizza and garlic pizza are two very different things. They're in a museum full of all sorts of exotic artifacts, and what do they hit each other with? The same stupid furniture as every other fight in every other room. Meanwhile, MODOK and Red Skull have fully taken control of Manhattan. Yeah, but it was the 40s. Everyone was constantly surrounded by twice as much cigarette smoke. Did a puppy just yelp? And arbitrarily, those are the punches that defeat him. Okay, now, what did I come in here for? Nah, I'm good. Just let me die. Okay, she was only in there for a while, so she'll only be semi-mummified. She'll look, what, about 150 years old? The Scarecrow walks at midnight.
Thanks to Captain America, whom we now know to be our fighting district attorney.
Wait, why did everyone else need to learn Cap's identity?
Gang pay the supreme penalty in the electric chair at the stroke of midnight tonight. To review the Scarab's crimes?
No need to review them now.
That would require continuity.
Convictions definitely prove that crime doesn't pay.
Well, it does for 14 chapters.
I want to say that the people of this city owe a great deal to you, Mr. District Attorney. Captain America.
District, Cap, no, they both feel too stupid to call you.
Cleverness tipped me off to the Scarab's identity.
But Captain America arrived in time to capture you.
Friends, please, you can both share the blame for this stupid serial.
It's midnight.
Why are we still at the office? We should have gone home hours ago. What, can they see the execution from that window? Someone set up some stock footage of London outside?
The toll of doom for the Scarab.
That's it? That's the whole serial? One more interchangeable fight, if anything a less intense fight than the earlier ones, and then the Scarab is just executed off screen? Mattson is just handcuffed in a hotel room somewhere? We only see Gruber die for the crimes? We don't find out if Hillman recovered? And the good guys only won because Maldor finally revealed his identity to Gale so that she would tell him where Hillman was, which he only needed to know to prevent Hillman from revealing his identity? Gale used the tiniest bit of cleverness to pave the way for Cap to do more punching, but this time it was series-ending punching just arbitrarily? How many more Scarab agents are out there somewhere? Did they all get arrested, or did they just shut down like battle droids? What in God's holy name was the point of literally any of this? No. I refuse to accept that as our finale. And yet I must, because there was never a follow-up to this. There was a serial called The Return of Captain America, but that was just a re-release of this one. They were either so proud of this one they had to show it to everyone again, or so ashamed of this one that they had to trick everyone into watching it again. I don't know. Well, anyway, we're finally done with this so-called Captain America. And I truly could not have done it without my patrons, both for their continued financial support and for joining me on the many Patreon-exclusive live streams, watching this boring-ass serial over and over again to brainstorm jokes. This serial may have been completely unsatisfying, but the camaraderie we formed over watching it over and over will last forever. Anyway, later this month, we shall begin riffing a different public domain serial based on a different comics hero, albeit a slightly more faithful adaptation of a slightly less beloved comics hero. Although he does seem to be beloved by one person in particular, beloved enough by that one person that he just keeps making weird TV specials to hold on to his movie rights. That's what he does now instead of hijacking honeymoons, I guess. But before that, we'll have another one-off riff, and you can watch both of those right now on the aforementioned Patreon for a mere $2 pledge. And for a $5 pledge, you can get instant access to the digital download of Riffin with Doggans Volume 1, if you want to watch the DVD without a DVD player. If you want to watch it with a DVD player, you can still buy it at Doggans.com. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to Avengers Campus because every single Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson they have walking around there is an infinitely better Captain America than Grant Gardner. And until next time, this is Dave, signing off.